Last question. I'm here with Tyrone McCoy, who's the coach of the team in Germany. He's been coaching for a very long time, 13 years, over 13 years. Been playing overseas for over 13 years. He's been over there for over 20 years
Yeah.
in Europe and in Germany. My last question is going to be: could you make a case for European basketball for American players who just be below that that level, make an NBA, but just need an extra push. You know what I mean? And they don't want to do the G League thing, and maybe the G League thing be for them, or maybe it is. But make a case for the league that you're in and European basketball overall for players who are looking to play. I know it's gonna be kind of scary for them going overseas with all this stuff going on, but make a case for it.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, it's going to be a culture shock when you come out of college, man. Unless you're going to end up in a situation that's, let's say, like Germany, man, because it's everybody speaks English, uh, and when you go out somewhere, you can communicate. You go to Israel or you go to Australia, then everybody's speaking English, so then it's not that bad of a transition. But if you were a borderline player and your heart is set on making the NBA, I would tell you do it. Get it out you. Because once you come to Europe and you see, okay, there is a way you can make money in Europe, man, and have a very good life. Playing basketball, something that you love, something that you did for fun as a child, you can come and you can make a livelihood out of it. I mean, many guys have done it. Many guys will do it and stuff. It's just are you able to withstand uh, the culture of not being in America? That you're going to have a different type of coach. Because a lot of the coaches in Europe, their philosophy is different. So they believe in, I call it working, overworking sometimes. So the practices are long. Can you tolerate that? There may be a guy who is screaming at you like your college coach, and you are a grown man. Can you tolerate that? Can you
Mm.
accept that this guy's going to be saying some crazy stuff in a foreign language, and then can you bite your tongue and then do your job? That is the basic. That is the easiest and basic thing I can tell you about coming to Europe. But the money, making the money, doing something you love, having, let's say, 3 or 4 months off, because the seasons are long compared to G League and NBA. You're going to play about 9 months. So you're going to have the other time, unless you go to a shorter league. But you have some time off, 3 or 4 months, depending on how your team does. You make an okay salary. You get to experience the world. You get to see things that you probably would never ever imagine that you would see in your life.
The Liga League that which you're in Germany has 18 teams, and they're paying players between 65,000 to 100,000 tax free. And that's probably more for your entry level players. I'm probably sure they got other players who probably exceed more than that. There might be some players who
Yeah,
don't make that much who are probably lesser known, right? So
exactly.
that's just the
Exactly.
average of probably where you're at, right?
Exactly, man. Like that stuff that you read online, man, it's an average, man. So I'll tell you like how it
Okay.
works because so that people can understand it. Okay, there are other like there are different countries. Okay, and every country is pretty much different from how they pay their money because of the taxes. So in Germany, if you are, let's say you are playing basketball in Germany, before taxes, gross. Let's say your gross check before taxes. It's going to be 3 times higher than what you're going to net because the taxes are ridiculous high in Germany because it's a social democratic state. So if you make 100,000 in Germany net, you actually probably made about 250 in taxes and all other kind of crazy stuff that the club has to pay. So everything you're going to read about is always going to be net. It's not going to really tell you like in the NBA they make 5 million, well they make 2.5 after taxes. So everything they're going to
Right,
have over
right.
here is going to be okay. If they say they make, if you get a contract, let's say the guy makes 100,000, he makes 100,000, but actually way, he actually made way more because You got to pay your retirement, your which the players don't really know a lot of time. They got retirement, they got tax, they got to get tax out, they got the insurances, they got blah blah blah, all these different monies coming out, and it would be probably if you made 100,000, about 250 what you really made, but you brought home 100. The range of the salary, man, like I told you, there are teams. There are teams with their budget. They're going to pay some guys, man, anywhere from in Germany, I would say around 500 to 500,000 net to probably about 8 or 900,000 net, close to a million net. And then you got some teams that are going to pay guys like about 30,000 net. So that's it, and then that's the
Right.
difference. So then if you got a team paying around 30,000 net, and another guy making 500,000, well the 500,000 better beat the 30,000. Otherwise, he might get fired.
Yeah.